thought you were supposed to be selling. I'm 21 years old. I'm a PFC in the Army. I have no reason to connect police in Louisiana to my trial for conspiracy to obtain and distribute controlled dangerous substance. Conspiracy of one 14-year-old virgin yet to be nerve gassed. I'm not selling. Like, exactly how stupid do you think I am is obviously your setup. Isn't that the FBI building right there? I don't know if that's why the only kind of nightlife for 100 miles in any direction from Fort Polk would happen to be a gay bar. I don't see why there'd be any connection. Ladies' night every week, full to the brim with tail. Yeah, there's a bunch of drag queens and they own it. It's their place. But I haven't seen as many females my age over a year, 2 years. I don't know, Air Force, what do you think? So Intel's bending over backwards to keep this clandestine so they can misinform chain of command and keep it hush hush and just make it look like something else. But I went from on the verge of my third waiver, which I was gonna have to settle for specialists, to having mishap after mishap. Been a guidon bearer for over a year. Cadence caller, hazmat, supply. We're on a routine training deployment and I break the guidon. Just snap. Like, why would anybody break the guidon? We're sitting in the office at downtime. I have a history like chronic fatigue. It's not yet diagnosed, but we joke around all the time. We're used to a high octane, constant, like, I basically got by on adrenaline. And I was just joking around, like, can we find something to do? So I pretended to snore, and the first sergeant started acting brand new. He wouldn't take my word for it. We redeploy. We're the hangar in the aircraft, and he decides to take this Stinger first time. Or no, I'm on the Stinger, he's guiding me. The guy on the Stinger's liable. And I should have just disrespected him at that point, but I was afraid. He's already mad at me. But I should have just turned around and did it myself. He walked me right into another aircraft. That's the first time since I got that bird that she was down. So it wasn't hard after that. They told me about a program. So I was hanging out at the flop house, the after party house, and telling one of the other guys, to the best of my knowledge, former cook, and he was like, why don't you just stay here? I don't know, man. Are you serious? It's awful nice. I had one last paycheck, and I stayed there for about a month. I met the girl that I would end up staying with. Like, the one that I liked the most absolutely wasn't. And I didn't get it, like, why people would act. Some people just, well, I guess now I know. But anyway, I ran out of money, and I didn't have a job yet, and the girl that I was seeing was visiting, and we were spun, but one of the drag queens on the couch would not move her ass. We were looking for the keys. I tore the place down, top to bottom, the whole place, twice over. And I was like, "You're definitely sitting on the keys." She said, "No, I'm not." I'm like, "How do you know?" She said, "I don't feel like getting up." I said, "Well, you're getting up or you're getting punched." Lo and behold. So, but, you know, I don't think like that. It never occurred to me that they were testing me. They wanted to see if I was heterosexual enough to resort to violence. Just why the FBI won't return my calls. Failed again. Anyway, so I stayed with her until ended up getting arrested, held on military bond. Thought you were supposed to be selling. Bring me in, do the interview, and like, this obviously your vehicle. I've never done it like that before. Spent 3-4 weeks on military bond. Finally, command decides to release me. Military bond. I was already AWOL, so MPs bring me back to base and gave me strict instructions not to leave again. So I left that night. I mean, a commander who was doing my field grade was just like a new guy. I never met him. Thank you for my new command. So I went and I redid the thing that they told me to do. I was the last class to do it that way. No, I don't hold it against the military. They're at the mercy of some piece of shit. Because I've been repeatedly crippled as a child and denied appropriate health care, resorting to other. So it looks like it might be me. I had no reason to connect. Years later, when I saw the girl from the party, Jeff Trump got his head stomped into a cactus, that she was crippled, and the only explanation she gave me was too much cocaine. Well, I've never been into cocaine for that to register, but had I known, there's also no reason that I shouldn't have followed up on it. If she had told me the first time that she was in some kind of trouble because of me, ostensibly, as opposed to the guy she actually did cocaine with, I don't know what, like, I would have felt compelled to tell somebody. But the whole idea is that I was just born that way, and I was a sociopath, and just a monster who stomped on poor defenseless 8-year-old bully Jeff Trump's face at my preschool. Like, why was he at my preschool? But like I said, it never occurred to me. I had no idea. No way of knowing who he was. Just like when I kicked Robert Davies out of the park, I had no reason to recognize him from when I was 7 years old. Didn't even know he got arrested. Process and lived with that girl in Louisiana for a while, back to New Jersey, and all bridges are burned. I had no idea. Like, there's a couple people but for the most part, there's just no opportunity. I ended up hanging out with people that I never gave the time of day in high school. My mom was completely just sick of it. So my sister, when she was, I guess, 2 or 3, so I have pictures of her before she was crippled too. But she ended up with autism after a vaccine. And I knew that it was possible that it could be a vaccine injury, that the odds of it being an accident, if it was intentional, I figured it was just because she was mixed. I still didn't connect any. I had no idea that they waited until I left to waylay my friends for the past couple of years while I was in Louisiana. They spiked that girl's mandatory hobby with dextromethorphan hydrochromide, causes PKE, phenylketonureosis or something like that. Phenylketonuria, permanent deafness, brain damage. She was old enough at that point, she developed enough where you couldn't tell the brain damage. But she had to wear hearing aids. And when she told me, she was just like, I did too much cocaine. It was none of my concern. I spent the rest of the party with them and barbecue. Nobody ever said anything to my face that made sense. Work at Harris. I mean, various security jobs in Louisiana, the refinery processing. I went to New Jersey. I worked at Harris. It takes 90 days. I was going to make the investment and benefits, and I signed up for a lower pay rate. Everybody else on the summer. So everybody else making more money than me, but I'm roughing it because I went to medical and education. Day 90, everybody's gone. There's not a soul in the place, and they shut the oxygen off. They don't tell anybody. And that chronic fatigue came back, roaring back. So I went at the aid station, and I explained, like, look, I'm not able to maintain my post, and they're not accommodating the situation, so I just need to sit down and just suffered until they came in and fired me. Worked at a few nightclubs, but at Deja Vu, like, I don't know what you want me to do. When people are trying to test you all the time, you get put in awkward, precarious positions where it's like, in order for them to stop testing you, you try to see what they want. End up, like, when I'm off the clock and I'm riding with somebody, cocaine comes up again, I'm just like, man, no thanks. And then all of a sudden there's some kind of a catastrophic failure at work. I was pretty souped about going to Maynard's. Like, it was the kind of, I walked in, some frat boy mouthed off, got dogpiled by yellow shirts, and I was like, all right, how come I never knew about this place? And it was the kind of job where, you don't make much money, but it wasn't boring. People were nice until we were outnumbered. I was trying to avoid a conflict by demonstrating that I was ready for one. I'm not a hothead. I'm not a reactionary. I've never laid a hand on anyone in anger, much less a woman or a child or a dumb animal. Just always like to play rough, but if you got mad, Kevin, first time I met him, he was 2 grades ahead of me, way bigger than me. Instinctively, just felt the need to introduce myself by tackling him off the steps. fast friends. It's just where I'm from. Kevin and Joe were the only two people outside the family that knew I was coming back to Jersey, and they were dead by the time I got there. That's inconvenient. Oh, I'm some idiot, some guy in a dress's cocaine budget. Yeah, I'm nobody's goddamn zombie Washington, and he's not worth the man hours of following me back and forth to California and back and forth here to make life inconvenient until I just happen to know how it works for some reason. Read a lot of books. Being crippled for the first year of football gives you the opportunity to catch up on your historical knowledge. Being crippled in a doctor's office for a psychological problem that they blamed on the surgeon. The doctor who diagnosed nerve agent as mono and prescribed Prozac, it was Om Shinrikyo. Like, I'm not saying they were bald, I'm just saying that was the special of the day. Yeah, you got professionals, some of them talented, and some of them couldn't possibly be that dumb by accident. Follow me coast to coast, trying to tie something up where some petty regional judge then wanted to suck Trump's dick, scapegoating the wrong dude. What's the rationale? Like, as long as you have a justifiable mistake, lead you to support the assertion that he's a chicken too, so we can just harass him. I never gave a shit. None of this stuff you're talking about makes sense. This is just the new outfit since 9/11. FBI got a big mouth. I talked about my California. Some, the things that I know about, definitely. I don't care. It's going to be addressed. Take a national dive on behalf of some resort judge. Hey Catholics, if you ever find that your local illicit contraband economy is flagging, is not performing like you expected, a dry town needs people with no options. Why didn't we think of that? Probably because there was none of us left by the time I was old enough to drink. I can't imagine. Maybe he's like a kamikaze economist. Islam makes such a mockery of the concept of religion. Protestantism is allowed to exist because it's equally ridiculous. Protestants abandon their faith, and there's no. It's like the opposite of civilized. The throne of Peter makes it kind of hard to forcibly indoctrinate people contrary to the Bible or reality. Yes, I have seen priests get excitable with young sinners, but outside of church facilities, church functions, it's your life. Sound almost too good to be true. Germany, Scotland, it's not against Islam to mimic the church, because Islam's not a real religion. A real religion being a search for universal and eternal truth. One cannot renounce it. Heresy is all at once fundamental and punishable by death. So you're at the mercy of some bureaucrat or doctor who thinks, the permitted interpretation, the way he was raised, means he's God. So, sorry, kid, but that's what Islam allows. As long as it flies in the face of Jesus' teachings. We lost a 15-year war in Afghanistan because they took our APCs and shipped them back and forth to each other on our dime. Gave them a paint job. They sent us to war with no armor, just a deck of playing cards. I don't know what you stupid commies think is going to happen. You sent us to war just to lose. We made a bunch of money, that's why they took our farmer. So it's 2015, somebody at the phone company trying to kill me. Not officially, I'm sure, but we lost the Doppler arrays. The Army's out. They were renting out JFK to foreigners. We got people calling me Trump, and there's all kind of bankruptcy scandal, cartel, snitch, classified. I better be a CIA cartel. Go all the way back to California because that's the last blonde girl I seen that there could have been any misunderstanding because of all the hocus pocus in San Francisco afterward, and it couldn't be this. You're gonna talk about this blonde girl right here, so come find out is that the girl they poisoned. And then tried to tie it, well, did tie it to the military without a word in my face. I never sold cocaine. Democracy is a rational authority. A rational authority wants to be correct, and I know the Bill of Rights can be such an obstacle. If God loved you, He gave you wings. If somebody's going to invoke states' rights to defy the founding document granting statehood, maybe don't muster national resources to support their child sex trafficking racket out of the back of a police staffed casino with a hospital behind the privacy. Maybe I have a psychological problem. Am I not allowed to be an expert in comparative theology? I didn't hurt anybody, so we investigating who claimed to have a source to penalize Department of Defense for the past 7 years after the self-proclaimed Nazi king of some burg in Germany fled the country. My recommendation for the successful excursions in the future are at my blog, mfrodeo.blogspot.com. First, I shall do no harm, and then this is my game.